Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello from Brussels. My name is Jakub.
I'm Annika.
And I'm Nair.
And we are part of the Code Week team. And we are very much looking forward to Saturday, the 5th of October, when Code Week starts in 2019. And we look very much to all the activities and all the actions that will rock through Europe. Now, today we organized this Facebook chat to get in touch with you a little bit, to answer, of course, your questions, to tell you what news we prepared and what news you can enjoy this year. And we are here in Brussels in the Future Classroom Lab, yes, of EU Schoolnet. And we'll very quickly talk about it with Nair.
Yeah.
But maybe very short introduction, I will ask Annika. So Annika, what is new, or what is the most exciting thing in 2019, and why people should join Code Week in 2019?
The most exciting thing with Code Week is that we have so many teachers joining us from different parts of Europe and also outside of the world. I think we have over 40 countries already, which means we have lots of school children and young adults, of course, youngsters who will be maybe experience some robotics. We have a bit here, or some tinkering, or some doing some coding, or maybe 3D printing, which is over there.
Here
for the first time, or maybe they have been going on for a while.
But Annika, because we're watching, we are just here in Brussels talking to people, but maybe they don't know what Code Week is.
No, okay.
Do you mind explaining to some of them, maybe?
If you're new. So Code Week is a grassroots initiative that the European Commission supports. And what so I work for the European Commission, and so does Jakub.
I work also
and
for
what we would like to do is to reach more schools. And that's why we cooperate with, for example, European Schoolnet, where Nair is from.
And other people.
And other people who we'll see later.
You cannot see them now, but they're still there.
And we have done lots of exciting things this year. We've had a very short online course in June. It was about 5 hours. And now Nair and her colleagues are running a longer MOOC. We call it the Deep Dive online course. And we will also have some face-to-face teacher training. Maybe you want to say a few words about the course that we're running right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically this is a MOOC. It's a massive open online course for those of you who are not familiar with this concept. And it's basically a massive course for everybody. So we encourage all teachers in Europe to register in this course. We have now, if I'm not mistaken, 3,550 or 60 teachers ready in more than 80 countries, which is amazing. So
great.
Thank you so much for that. And we encourage you to keep joining the course, because you're still on time. You can still register until the 18th of October if you want to get a super nice course badge and course certificate as well from us, from European Schoolnet, also University of Urbino. And then if you register your activity in the Code Week map, you will also receive European Commission certificate, which is also very nice.
This is what you want.
This
now,
is what we all want.
Now, a couple of things. First, you see that we have our mobiles, because we are also checking whether you are writing us, liking us, and especially asking questions. We have also people here around whom we will present at some point during the chat as well, who are checking the Facebook sphere, and of course your comments and your questions. So we will be trying to reply to as many as we can. We have reserved the time really to spend time with you guys. So feel free to ask whatever interests you. We will be talking about the website, the different activities that you can do during Code Week sessions, or coding sessions, coding workshops. And we will, of course, be happy to see also where you are from. So if you are already following us, and if you can type quickly, if you are not driving, I hope you're not driving, please let us know where you are from. So I'm from the Czech Republic, but of course currently living in Brussels. Nair?
I'm from Spain, living in Brussels for 4 years now.
Yes. And
I'm from Sweden, currently living in Sweden.
Currently living in Sweden, yes. So please share also where you are from. We also already see some cool reactions. Thank you very much. And maybe Annika, can you a little bit explain why do we focus so much on teachers or
And
on
teachers
t-shirts
as well.
on
Teachers
these
as
orange
well.
t-shirts? But why the teachers are kind of the gateway to bring Code Week to everyone?
Yeah, so we think in the Commission we would like to reach everyone basically, because there's a big digital skills gap. There are a lot of people that don't know anything about computers or understand how our society is connected, and maybe they can't even send emails. But with Code Week, we're trying to dig a little bit deeper. We would like everyone, especially school children and youngsters, to understand how a computer works behind the hood, or how a GPS works, or how you know, how your phone works, or how to make a game, because we would like to empower young people to make them more of creators than just consumers, because you know it's very nice and easy to like and consume and play a game, but actually with a little bit of coding, you don't need a lot, you can actually create the game. And I think that's really interesting, and then you can go further. So if, I mean, some people might want to work with this, and that's very good, because there's a huge a huge lack of people that know programming skills. But the aim is for most people is to have a better understanding of our digital world.
Yeah, and Ketty confirms it in the chat. Actually, I'm reading now the comments, and she says, because coding with computer or without computer in education, it's the basics of the career. So this is exactly now.
And it's also useful in all fields. Yeah. It's not only in a specific subject, for example, computer science. It's also useful in other subjects, and it's also useful if you go to university. You need to do data science. You need to have this understanding nowadays.
And so Code Week can offer this first step to the kids and through the teachers. Now here you said that you have the successful MOOC, and during this MOOC, you don't only show...
That means MOOC means Massive Open Online Course. Exactly. So we will now only say online course, Jakob.
Yes. We'll say the online course. Now, during this online course, you don't only show activities that teachers could do online or with the computer, but you also show the activities that they can do, let's we call unplugged or offline or without computers.
So there are many activities that you will be discovering if you join the MOOC. If you have not joined
the online
MOOC,
course.
The online course. If you have not joined the online course, maybe you can share the link, Niklas, in the chat for teachers or any other people to join. Again, it's a course for any teacher or any person interested.
It can also
be
anyone. You don't need to be a teacher. If you like to organize an event and learn more about programming, computational thinking, you can take this course. We target it to teachers, and we talk a lot about teachers, but it's open to anyone.
And especially if you don't have any experience at all, you can also take it. So it's not like you need to be an expert on coding or ICT or whatever. This is mainly designed for teachers or people with no experience at all. So it's really easy to follow, and you just, there are 5 different modules. On the different modules, you will be learning about different things. First module was about Code Week. What is it? What is the initiative? How to take, why the initiative appeared in the first place, how to take place, how to participate with other teachers. Then you will be learning also about unplugged activities that Jakob, you were mentioning now, because actually coding can also be brought to the classroom not only with funny things or cool things like these robots that we have here in the Future Classroom Lab, but you don't actually need these kind of super cool robots to bring coding and fun to your students. You can also do some unplugged activities, computational thinking activities, and many other things for which you don't need a computer. And this is something you can easily do if you go to module 2 of the course,
online course,
where you will also be discovering different activities and free lesson plans that you can directly download and replicate with your students. So it's, you just go to the website. Also, if you want Niklas to share the link to the website, and there they can find many lesson plans available in 29 languages, which is also something very, very important.
This is what I wanted to follow up, because I already see people from Romania, Italy, Albania. We have people who follow us, and this year we also put a lot of energy into making materials and also the website available in all the languages. So Annika, can you just follow up quickly on that? How many languages do we have? What are the types of resources that people can find?
So we have the website website is now in 29 languages.
Mhm.
So all the EU languages, European languages, plus the Western Balkan languages. And on the website, you have resources for teach and learn. So if you just want to learn, we have you can search for learners, if you yourself or me, if I would like to learn. And you also have other resources for those who want to teach or teach other people how to code. Then we have a very nice section under training where we have these short videos and lesson plans, and they are also available in all languages. It's under which tab now? Training.
Training.
English.
Schools,
In English.
schools training. Yeah.
But then we have to speak about the super cool challenge.
The Code Week for All.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a super cool challenge.
This is a super cool.
Yeah.
So, but you will need to help me with the exact numbers.
Okay.
So the idea, of course, is if you want organize an activity in your region, in your city, in your village, in your school. But this is only, like, I would call it the basic participation, because what you can also do to make the experience even more fun and even more kind of interconnected with your peers and with others in Europe, you can actually jointly together organize activities, Code Week activities. Now, the way how to do it is super easy. Once you decide to go for this, and we call it Code Week for All Challenge, you generate the code on the website, and
you get a code when you register your event. You get a code, and this code you can share.
You share with others, and of course the others then register their activity within your activity.
So if I have an activity and I share my code with Jakob,
Yes.
Jakob registers his activity with this code, and then
code.
I can share it with Nair and whoever.
Yeah.
And now there are 3 criteria which you need to fulfill in order to reach this next second level. Thank you very much, Gabi. Gabi is helping us with that. And so these 3 criteria are
500 participants,
500
or
participants,
10 activities,
or 10 activities, or 3 countries involved. So you can choose one of these 3. And last year we had, if I'm not mistaken, 27 or 28 challengers or competitors or participants who fulfilled all the 3 criteria at the same time.
Yeah. And about 4,000 or 5,000 who did one.
At least one.
You just need to do one to get a super cool certificate.
Even cooler than the one before.
Exactly. So the best is to set up the activity, register it, and then share the code. If you are a teacher and you want to share it with other teachers, we invite you also to join the Facebook group that we have. So there is a Facebook group, which if you are not yet there, you will find it on the Facebook page of Europe Code Week. You will find, I guess, Nicholas. Maybe we can introduce Nicholas. Nicholas, don't you want to come in the picture?
Okay, I will come in.
Come in, Nicholas.
Nicholas doesn't have yet the orange T-shirt because he forgot it at home. And so that's why we bring him to the picture only from time to time.
So from time to time, I'll go back again.
But maybe you can describe where people can find this group.
Yes.
How many members do we have there, and how active the group already is?
Of course. No, I'll explain that. So if you're on our page, on our Facebook page, actually on the right side, you will have a visit group button. And this button will get you right to our teachers page, where we now have 6,700 people roundabout. So it's steadily growing, and we're really, really happy about this. And we're also super impressed by all the cool stuff that a lot of teachers are doing all over Europe and also beyond Europe. And we encourage you to share more there, and also go there to be inspired by what people are doing, share your own activities, ask questions as well. It's super fun and engaging community, so we invite all of you to join. And yeah, I will also share the link to the group in the comments here, so you can have a look now and join right away.
Right away.
Yeah. Sure.
Great.
No, until you get your T-shirt.
Okay, in the meantime, if you have any question for us, this is a very good opportunity to ask. Of course, we're always available to help and support, unless it's a weekend or maybe 12 at night. Sometimes we also do sleep. But for the rest, if you have any question with that, please feel free to ask in the chat.
Or send us a message on Facebook or on
As
Twitter, wherever you are. You can just send this. Maybe Nair, we are, as we started, we are in the future classroom lab.
Yes.
And we showed already that we have some robots here. We have also a 3D printer which does little
Cool
robots and you know, other
Yeah.
things, elephant or
Things.
stuff like that. Now, I mean, so is
And
this
snowflakes.
like inspiration for teachers what they can do in
Yeah.
their class? Of course, not only this, but you know,
Yeah.
what is the concept of this cool classroom?
Yeah, so the idea of the Future Classroom Lab here in Brussels is that we have an inspirational space where teachers can come over and just find some inspiration, and then also think and rethink, which is very important, the role of technologies, the role of pedagogy, and the role of the design of the classroom. So why the pedagogy, the technology, and also the design is important when you're teaching nowadays in the 21st century. So of course, technology is part of the new teaching methodology, and with coding there are many things you can do. As I was saying before, you don't need such an expensive or cool robot. If you have it, perfect, but if not, it's also fine, because you can have you can actually bring coding to your classroom with many other things. There are also hardware, software free, apart from the lesson plans. There's also the hour of code from code.org they can have a look at. There are many things, and we really encourage you to
And you
check.
can also actually have a look at the blog. We have a blog
Yeah.
on the
Exactly.
website, and there
Yeah.
we share stories from time to time
Yeah.
of what other people do. So you can also get inspired by.
by
by-
other teachers, because at the end this is about peer learning, sharing with each other, exchanging, and so on. And Niklas was mentioning that almost 6,000 teachers, I think, are there, and it's really the best place for you to be, because actually many colleagues are sharing ideas, experiences, best practices. Really worth checking.
And if you are one of them who wants to share their activity, who wants to write about what you do, who has some cool pictures, or who just wants to, you know, describe how and you did an unplugged activity, for example, in your class, the easiest way is just to get in touch. You can again do it via Facebook or via Twitter or via any other media. Contact us, and we will be very happy to get the content from you, and then have the blog post published there. Because as Nair
Yeah.
said, this is about peer learning and about you know, exchanges best practices, learning from each other, and exchanging also materials. Now. This is what is happening on the Code Week EU website. Maybe Annika, I will ask you one little question about other part of the website that we have, which is the activity map.
Yes.
And there we have first of all the map, but we have the overview of all the activities, which are now currently over 15,000.
Over 16,000.
16,000 almost. And there is also the scoreboard.
Yes.
So maybe you can.
Yeah, so
tell
we have a
bit
little
about
competition.
how this works.
Well, it's not really a competition, but we try, you know, to make it a little bit more exciting, right? A little bit more fun. So we have a scoreboard. So under the in the tab of the maps, you can find the scoreboard where we calculate the number of activities per person in that country. So first, it's usually Malta. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes, Malta is number 1. Then it is.
Then it is the,
Isle of Man?
probably the Isle of Man.
Isle
Yes.
of Man is number 2, and then it is Poland with 4,600 events. But if you look to the number of events in each country, so we have Poland with
Turkey.
4,600, Turkey with 5,800, and then I think Italy is coming in with 1,500 events.
Yeah. So a lot of events, but still.
We need to speed up a little bit, because
Yeah.
Code Week is approaching.
Yeah.
Starts on the 5th of October, this Saturday. And now I would just mention one more thing about the map, because that's a very cool part. We pin, or the activities are pinned exactly to the location where they take place. So what I like to do is to zoom in my hometown, which is in the south of the Czech Republic, and look what activities and what events are happening around my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a very good idea for someone who doesn't know anything about Code Week, but just wants to
Yeah.
participate, wants to come to some activities. Go to the map, zoom in, you will be really able to find activities really around you, and then join in and try to experiment with
And
it.
even afterwards, even if you would miss Code Week, which would be a
Yes.
shame,
Yeah.
but you can go back to the map and see who is actually organizing things
Yeah.
in my community.
And what is an activity in Code Week? I think this is also something very important to explain, because sometimes people, as I was saying at the beginning, think that I need to be really an expert to bring coding to my classroom. No, you don't. So everybody can bring coding to their classrooms. An activity is anything that you may think about. So if you're organizing a workshop, a webinar, it can be a face-to-face training, it can be a remote lesson. If you're very good at teaching Scratch, I don't know, anything that you may think about that is related to coding, that it includes some element of digital creativity, you can use this as an activity and register it in the map. So let's say that you're, again, very good. I'm seeing a lot of teachers who are very experts on different things in the MOOC.
In the online course?
In the online course. And they share many things there. So there is no need to be an expert or to really be an ICT teacher. Just give it a try. There was also an example of a teacher that I wanted also to mention now, because it was really worth it. She was saying that, I think she was Steph Rodriguez from Spain, if I remember correctly, and she was saying, look, I'm an English teacher, I'm not an expert, but still I'm trying, I joined the MOOC, and I'm finding really interesting resources. And I think this is very valuable, and it's something that we, of course, acknowledge and recognize and appreciate. So we thank you also for being there, even though you're not an expert. This is the most important thing to do. Even though you have no experience at all, you're already taking a step further, joining the MOOC and try any activity with your students.
And if you're an expert, why don't you do and invite and spread your knowledge in where you are, where you work, or where you know, in the libraries or in the schools, or if you're a parent, you can go back to your school maybe.
And also
some technologies.
So related to what you're saying, Annika, we also have, as part of the course, the remote lessons that we also encourage teachers to join. So last week we had one in Italy with Alessandro Boiolo. This week we're gonna have one with Matthias Lowy, where you will be learning in 1 hour.
He's the ambassador for Germany.
Yeah, and
you
will be learning how to create an online game in 1 hour. But there are many other remote lessons in different languages as well. So this is also something that we encourage you to check. I don't know if Nicholas, if you can share the link of the live events of the MOOC in the chat, so that or otherwise I will do it now.
It's becoming more and more challenging.
And this is an open invitation for all of you who are interested to do any remote lesson in your country. Let us know. We will be happy to help you with the moderation, supporting dissemination, or as much as we can. I will also share the link if I find it in the chat for you to register a remote lesson. And this is, of course, again, an activity to be pinned in the map, in the Code Week map.
I mean, I remember once we did in Brussels a robo dance, right? It's like a couple of years ago. I mean, this is also a little bit remotely linked to Code Week. So if you bring really the coding or computational thinking element to your activity, pin it on the map. And now maybe very quickly, how the activities actually get registered and how are they then being pinned on the map? Because there is a quick but important process with that, and it links also to the Code Week ambassadors, right?
Yeah. So if you want to do something, you have a group of people, you want to do something with them around coding or computational thinking, you go to the map, but there is a little thing where you say add event. You fill in the information, and for your address, the least you have to put is the name of your city.
Yeah.
And then once you have registered your activity, the Code Week ambassador or Code Week ambassadors in your country will approve the event, so that you're actually doing something that's technology related and links to Code Week. And once they have approved your event, it will be published. And there you go. You're free to.
And then you just organize the event,
then you can promote it if you're invited.
Join eventually the Code Week for All challenge. And then you, at the end, you just confirm that the event took place, and you fill in some information.
When the event is over, you will receive because you will put the dates. If it's on Saturday from 11 to 12, you will receive an automatic email when the event is finished. It's going to ask you a couple of questions. For example, how many people were there? how many were women or girls,
A few more things.
a few more things.
Yeah.
And then after that, when you have we have received these answers, you will be able to download your personal
A unique.
certificate.
That
Is
is
right. We should
shown
have
on
other
the-
pictures.
Yeah, we should have it.
We will
don't.
share it
We'll-
at some point.
Maybe
Niklas.
Niklas can share it in the feed.
So for those who are joining us now, because I see that many people just joined, I think Nair shared somewhere, or
Yes, the
someone
link to the
shared.
course.
Exactly. So just to remind that Code Week is taking place. It's starting already this Saturday on the 5th of October, and it will last until the 20th of October. We currently have over 15,000, nearly 16,000 activities, but we of course want to reach much more. And how to do it is just with you guys and with everyone who is enthusiastic about coding and computational thinking, because Code Week is a grassroots initiative, and this is really, we can really feel it when Code Week always starts, that people start sharing what they do. They post pictures on Instagram, on
With
Twitter.
sleeveless.
Exactly,
All these kind of things.
all those robots and it's really a cool movement, cool initiative. So
And if you've been doing activities or you already do programming as a normal part of your class, because there are
Yeah.
quite a few countries
Yeah.
who have
Yeah.
now coding on the curricula or computational thinking
Yeah.
or different ways of talk. We
Yeah.
have many names for the same
Yeah.
baby. Let's
Yeah.
say.
exactly.
Then you can use it as a celebration and do something a little bit different during Code Week.
And what I want to also to emphasize is that it's not only about bringing coding and digital skills to students, which of course it is, but it's also about students having fun. So when you learn, you remember when you were going to school, I remember very well, you can either be motivated or not. So the students are going to be there anyway. So if you're an engaging teacher, if you give them some activities that they can play around, maybe a robot, maybe an unplugged activity, whatever, they will be having fun, and of course they will be learning better. So I think this is also something important to.
And you could also use some
To
of the
highlight.
kids that already know some programming.
Yes.
They could be teacher for a lesson, maybe.
Yeah, this is a very interesting thing that we encourage also teachers to do this. Not all of the teachers want to do that, I have to say. You're very reluctant to change. Huh? You should, those of you who are a bit more reluctant, maybe open your mind in a way that you're not scared of allowing students to go in front of the classroom and just teach or explain something to the other students, but also your role as a teacher needs to step by step moving from the person who was standing in the middle of the class before to the person who is now more a guide or a facilitator of the learning process. So this is also something important to consider.
Just to remind that we talk a lot about involving teachers or involving school students, because the idea is that we really want to reach everybody across the population with coding and Code Week, and this is the way how it can be more efficient. But of course, we also want, if you are not in the educational system, if you lead a club, or if you just have a group of kids with whom you play football or whatever, maybe you also want to consider spending one afternoon together, exploring a little bit how coding functions and how coding works, maybe also without computers, because as we mentioned at the beginning, we have tons of materials, both for plugged activities, meaning with computers and eventually online, but also for unplugged activities, meaning activities without computers and offline. So really everybody is welcome to join and to organize activities. And I'm now just checking what my colleagues here
Because
were checking.
we just wanted to say hi to people, and I don't manage to see all of you there, so I'm just gonna go a bit closer to my computer.
I can give you my phone.
Can you see the people there?
Yes.
I can't see, but
Mohammed
I don't think you see all of them for some reason. Okay.
I see. So now
Okay.
you do the round of thank you and hello.
Please don't get upset if we don't mention you. Okay, there are quite a few people here connected, many different laptops and stuff, so don't get upset if we don't mention you all. So we got Stefania Cefalo from Italy, I guess. Hi. Antonella Girolamo also Italy, Stefania Altieri, ciao.
Someone from Greece,
Andreas,
maybe? Kalispera.
Andreas from Greece, Mohamed, hello everybody, Codewig Romania, Arbana, Emini also. They were, I think I can see more people there.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Maybe in Netherlands.
We have
Berlin.
some, Netherlands, Albania.
Oof.
I can't see.
Okay, I'm a bit blind. Sorry.
Now you see the different part of the lab, so you can see the robots as well. In the meantime, I wanted to invite Niklas, but he will not be able to move in. I just wanted to, but it's okay.
I will
We
go a
can do
bit
it like,
closer.
Okay,
I will say it from here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you
So
will
I want to
see-
mention Adriana, Juhaina, Arbana, Stefania, Mohamed, Andreas again, Stefania, Antonella, Pauline, Phil, Bosnia,
Tunisia we have also.
Tunisia, Gentilana, Sadete, Kelly, Dorota, Maria Teresa,
From Paris
Deborah
now.
Newt as
Someone
well.
from Paris, Danielle Valley. Hey, Danielle.
And many others that I don't get. Okay.
Niklas, I wanted to ask you very quickly about the different channels that people can use to get in touch with us. Can you just sum them up?
I can sum them up very quickly. It will be my pleasure. So, I mean, most of you are following us on Facebook right now, so I guess you know about our Facebook page. I don't think I have to mention that again. But yeah, please feel free to leave us a message at any point. We're happy to help, and we're happy to also tell you who to approach for certain problems that you may have. So please feel free.
Because we should remember that you all have local ambassadors in your country that you can contact. At least in all European and Western Balkan countries.
Now, break. How do you find the ambassadors? Where do you find them?
Well, you find them on the website, of course. So, so you go on the website, and you will very easily find the ambassadors, and we will also share it right now as a comment, and so you can find who you can contact directly for your country. Also, maybe to get a kickstart on activities in your country, to make sure to just ask someone how it works in your communities. So yeah, do drop your ambassadors a note. They're always very happy to help.
Yes.
And I hope they won't hate me for saying this now.
No,
they won't. So, and then we're also very active on Twitter, where you can follow us. We mentioned the Facebook group a couple of times. So this is really what we're very excited about right now. And I know a lot of the names I see here, we see in the Facebook group as well. So we're very happy that you're so active there. And yeah, last but not least, again, the website. You've got plenty of information on how to get started, how to join Code Week, also how to learn a little bit more about coding. So we have a lot of resources there for you. And it's a great starting point in case you're not sure how to start with your activity. Do have a look on the website, and I'm sure you'll find what you need.
Yeah. Maybe we can, as we have new people joining in, we can repeat one thing that we've already mentioned, which is the Code Week for All challenge.
Oh yeah, that's the cool challenge.
The cool challenge, because you will, if you participate and if you succeed, you will not only get one cool certificate that you organized a coding event or coding activity, but you will receive a second, even better, isn't it golden kind of, or how? I think at some point we wanted to have it like gold and shiny. And,
it might be in the future, so
new
it's
design.
A new design.
There's
it's very nice.
Design of this certificate. Now, Annika, can you?
So once you pin your activity on the map, you will and it's approved by the ambassador. You receive a code. This code you can share with your friends, colleagues, co-workers, whoever is also organizing an activity. Because the idea is to organize, to make like a chain of activities or a network of activities, and to qualify for the Code Week for All challenge, you either need to have one activity with 500 students,
500
or participants, or you need to have 10 activities that are linked together, or you need to have 3 activities in 3 countries.
Yeah.
And then we have the grand challenge. That's to tick all those 3 boxes. So you have one event with 500 You have more than 10 activities and you have more than 3 countries.
And
Then
last
you will
year
get
we had
something.
27 or 28 challenges or groups or networks of organizers who managed to reach all the 3 criteria. Well, and well done, because this is it's an amazing job.
And I just want to say hi to new people who have just joined. So we have Mohamed, Rebecca Martinez, we have Francisco Javier also in Spain, Juhaina, and also Francisco Javier is mentioning that in Spain, in TEF, they have this NUC. So it's a nano open online course. Okay, this is a different thing about Code Week. So this is also something that if you're in Spain, if you're interested to learn about Code Week, you can also take this nano open online course. But again, of course, you will miss the international component if you don't join our
But
course.
the advantage is that it's in Spanish.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But also in our course, we have national moderators. This is something that we didn't mention so far. So we have 12 different countries, if I'm not mistaken. So you will be, if you need any kind of help or support from your language, you will find people there who will be happy to help you out and to support when needed. Yeah.
Actually, Code Week is becoming multilingual as we speak, because this year we have the website in 29 languages.
Yeah.
And what I really like, because just to let you know, if you are just visiting us now or you visited the website just recently, the new website was launched, I think, 2 weeks ago or 10 days ago.
Yeah.
And what I really liked was that it immediately takes the settings of your computer or your phone and it shows you the website in the language that you are the most used to. So, as I'm from the Czech Republic, I visited the website for the first time, and it showed me the website in Czech, which was really nice and really kind of soft, but very personal touch. So thanks to our web developers as well, who work on this day and night to make it, and all the team to make it make it work.
So it was
Alan,
Rafael, thanks a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. And
the question here from Danielle.
Yeah.
So yes, Danielle is asking if he can create an online event and record it on the platform. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but you can create an event. Can you
because
write
I'm not
your question?
even sure also about the question.
You can organize an online event from your
office
or living room, and that you registered on
like
the map.
factory.
Yes.
From your place.
Yes.
And
From
then
your,
you can register. Then you can register it.
Yeah,
on Code.
maybe
better
I'm
to
not
register
sure.
it before.
But maybe he wants to please clarify, Daniel, what you mean. But I think maybe he is also talking about the remote lesson. Maybe I don't know.
So we had one. If you just joined now, we just wanted to say we had one great remote lesson with Alessandro Bogliolo, who is the Italian ambassador.
Yeah.
Last week with a game called Cody Color.
Yeah, Cody Color, and this is very nice.
Yeah.
Because not only teachers can join to this remote lesson, but students were also there. So some of you were there with your students, and I think this is a very interesting and fun activity for them, because this is on like at 11 a.m. So usually you're at school and usually you're giving your lesson. So why not taking part in this remote lesson and register this as an activity in Code Week with your students? So you will be there with your students watching. In this case, this week it will be Matthias Lowy, and learning something new in a different way with some fun and some digital technology.
Yeah.
No, I'm just reading.
I was reading the question. So you meant register an activity, and you can register an online activity on the map.
Yes. And if you record it, then you can put it on your YouTube channel, and then people can rewatch it if you want, or any other channel that you use, whatever technology you use.
Yeah.
Now, maybe a quick reminder that Code Week starts officially on the 5th of October, which means on Saturday, and finishes on the 20th of October. But of course, if you already have a long planned activity for the 4th, or for the 25th of October, or even for the 1st of November,
It's okay.
It's okay.
If she says it's fine, it's fine. But
we had a cutoff date though last year.
Yeah,
right?
so to get these certificates, they're very cool.
Yeah.
That you get when you report your event, or when you take part, or when you take part in the Code Week for All challenge. You have to finish by the end of the year. So the last date is 31st of December. Then we cut it off and start calculating. So so the Code Week for All certificates will be delivered after the new year, so in 2020.
Yeah, as a New Year's present.
Yeah.
If you look for inspiration, you can go to the blog section of the website where you will see many stories about people who are probably very similar to you, which means it can be coding enthusiasts, it can be engineers, but it can be just teachers who wanted to try and experiment with coding. And so you can read their experience, and you can also see some pictures from the activities that they did, and this can serve you, this can help you really to be empowered a little bit, gain confidence, and go for it and organize an activity as well. One more thing which I want to mention is that in the resources we have of course new resources coming almost like every day, but you have very well detailed and very well worked out lesson plans and instructions how to do an hour lasting activity. So it's very easy, and if you follow the steps, you can easily do it with a couple of people who want to experiment. And I think it's if you have never thought about doing a coding activity, I think you can also approach it as a mutual learning exercise, that with your students or with the other participants you will discover what you can actually do when you write a piece of code, and what power it brings you.
There's also a question about photos.
Yeah.
So in general, you should never share photos if you need to ask the approval of people to share a photo. So if you share photos, it's your responsibility to have made sure that they are okay that you share these photos on any social media in general.
Yeah.
And that's the same for Code Week. So many times, it's easier to take photos from the back or with a hand, so people are anonymous. Then you're sure that you don't break any rules. Let's say.
Or if you have kids, their faces, you can always blurry them. Not ideal, but still a solution.
Or what you can do, you can just share a picture of the result. So if you, for example, develop a simple app or simple game in Scratch, then you can easily share the GIF or a video or just a picture of what you have developed. And we are actually very keen to seeing all the creative ideas that you might have. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can also take inspiration from some colleague or from some coding enthusiasts and Code Week participants who, for example, organized flash mobs. So I remember last year there were some guys in Italy in an Italian port who went during Code Week to the main square, to the port of the city, and they formed a beautiful CW18, I think, or something like that, of people. So there were like 200 people there, and they formed it, and they took a picture. I don't know whether it was from a drone or from a high building there, but it was pretty cool. And of course, all these activities that pass the message that Code Week is taking place are, of course, very, very much welcome.
Yes, so answer Mohammed, yes, you can, of course, as anyone can organize an activity.
So the question first, can I add my own activity and approve it?
Yeah, but as an ambassador, obviously you can organize your own events as well. So you will be the one to approve your own events. I am the master approver though, with Alain and Raphael, so if they don't relate to Code Week, we will take them away. We do check events. But that's perfect. As an ambassador, you check other people events, and obviously you can organize your own events.
So in the meantime, since we don't see many other questions, but can you maybe share in the chat if you have participated already in Code Week? What have you done? Maybe this can inspire other teachers who might see this recording at a later stage. Maybe if you want to just share what you have done, what tools you have used, software, hardware, whatever. If you have used the lesson plans also. Feel free to mention this in the chat. And
if I may, I would invite Niklas, because I see that there is a very long question in the comments, so maybe you can describe what it is about, and then maybe Annika will reply to that.
I'm just going to say it from the off.
Come please closer so that we see.
Hello.
Oh yeah, here you are.
So another question. Some startup in coding contacted me and asked me if they can organize an event and register it in the platform. Is it possible? They will use their own product, so they will promote it, but they don't want to sell it during the event.
That's okay. Yeah.
Is there any restriction? Is it possible?
It's possible.
Super short answer. We hope it's clear.
I think it's clear, yes.
Yes.
Okay, then I will move back up.
Thank you, Niklas. Thank you for monitoring the online sphere. So as Nair was saying, we very much look forward also to seeing whether you have already some experience, whether you did something during Code Week or also outside
Or
of Code
if
Week.
not, you can also share with us what you're planning to do, and maybe we can also give you some tips and advice, or your colleagues can also do this.
Yeah, especially join the Facebook group for teachers.
Yes.
There's a lot of sharing going on, and a lot of sharing of experience, but also help
Yeah,
support,
exactly.
let's say,
and encourage
from
you
many
already.
different
Yeah.
countries.
Exactly.
Something else that I also wanted to mention, since today is Monday. Today is Monday, right?
Yes.
So Monday the 30th, right?
30th
I got
of
it right.
September.
So module 3 of the course started today, and as part of this module, you will be learning about different visual programming tools or languages. It can be Scratch, it can be Blockly, so there are many that you can use in the classroom. And as part of this module, there are a few activities at the end of the course, which we really encourage you to do. You don't have to do all of them. Of course, if you want, feel free to do so, but it's we recommend to do at least one. And as part of this activity, there is one where we kindly ask you to create also a Scratch game. So, because we will assume that you will be learning how to use Scratch after the module, because you're very smart people, you will be creating amazing games in Scratch, and we want you to relate this to Code Week. So the idea is that you go, there is a website, I put everything in the course, you will find it there, but you will go to the Scratch Studio. You can either select one game that has been already created, or create your own. So it's either ways. Then you can give it a bit of you can make it feel like if it was a Code Week game. And for this, there are many resources that you can also find on the website in the Teacher's Toolkit. So that there are bubbles, there is the leaflet, so there are many visuals, cool things that you can also use. And then share it with everybody in social media, because we also think that well, of course, sharing is caring, but many people, many teachers don't know about Code Week. So it's also important to spread the word so as to reach as many people as possible.
As I mentioned, one of the very successful cases of spreading the word were people in this Italian port, and I now see that Stefania Altieri is actually maybe one of them, or at least has shared the link to the YouTube video where you can see the flash mob in
Cool.
in Italy,
Perfect.
next to the Adriatic Sea, or I don't know whether it was the Adriatic or the other. But coming back to the practicalities, Annika, maybe you can talk a little bit about the toolkits and about the learning bits that we have on our website.
Yeah, so under resources, we have one part for people who want to learn, and one part for people who want to teach. And we also have a section called presentation and toolkits, where you can, these toolkits, they're files with many different things inside them, but they're, for example, leaflets or PowerPoint presentations or posters or different things that can be used. If you want to talk, you can print them, or if you want to talk about Code Week and spread the news, you can also use them. Then under under schools, we have a tab called training, and in training we have small videos, 8 small short videos, which you can look at. I think they're not more than 15 minutes max.
Yeah, that's a max.
Yeah, they're shorter.
Around 10 minutes,
yeah, and you can learn different things like
And they're funny.
robotics. And
They're funny. That's the key thing.
they're very good.
Yes.
And under them, you have links to lesson plans, for example, for primary school, lower secondary, and upper secondary school. So you can just actually print the lesson plan. It's all ready for you to use.
Yeah, just simple. Go to the learning bit, see the video, get engaged, download the lesson plan, do it with your students. That's it. That's everything.
So I think we have repeated at least twice
Yes.
all the necessary
Yes.
information. And thank you very much for participating. Now I think we should slowly finish, because people need to now go to the website, read all the materials, and figure out what other activities and what new activities they want to do. So maybe just a couple of words, and in the meantime I invite the members of the Code Week team here in Brussels to come to join us here. Come really here to us. So So this is Gabi,
Hello.
Margot, Niklas. It's
Niklas.
not all of us, you know.
Yeah.
There are
So,
more people.
Yeah, I also want to mention, so we're missing also Tommaso, Audrey, Constantinos, and of course the IT team.
And the
in
IT
the
team,
commission,
Rafael,
Rafael
Alan.
and Alan. So kind of big group
And
here.
I think that's it. I hope
Okay.
we're not
Yeah.
missing anyone.
So
Okay.
There's more of us behind the scenes than it seems.
Yeah.
So
we're
please
here to support you.
do organize Code Week activities, join us in this great initiative, and we hope that we will be together able to spread the word, spread the news, and give every person in Europe, ideally, the opportunity to experiment with coding and computational thinking and enjoy this powerful tool, and of course have fun. And as we say on our posters, coding, bringing ideas to life. So let's bring the ideas to life together. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.